I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
Feels like it's been a while since we've done one of these.
It has been.
All right.
Back in office, back in the back alleys, scrounging for trash and garbage. Inevitably, some cars will drive past us, or
something weird will happen.
Someone will yell something loud.
So,
anyways,
what do we got here, Robbe? This is a pretty anticipated shoe.
The Asics Novablast 5. Pretty anticipated, but it kind of came out of nowhere. We were like, oh, it's here. It's here. The shoe's here. I feel like that maybe a little bit overshadowed by the Super Blast too.
I would say almost every shoe is outshadowed by or did you say overshadowed?
Overshadowed
by the shout out to the Super Blast, from the Super Blast.
Yep. So what do we got here in the shoe? Do you want to give us? Do you remember what I?
Yeah, it's got a jacquard upper that is new this year. It was a woven upper before. Other than that, you're going to have a
somewhat gusseted tongue.
Yeah, somewhat gusseted tongue. It's a very, very tiny gusset here. And this lacing, they've gone back to this kind of like loop lacing that we've seen before from Asics and some of their other shoes.
Jacquard mesh upper.
Yeah.
Instead of the engineered or woven mesh upper of last year.
Yeah, I think I just said that, but that's cool.
Wait, did you say?
I did. Anyway, it's got a lightly...
stop validating him.
Lightly padded tongue. Okay, and then I will say, we're giving first impressions here.
All right.
First day I wore it, I really had to cinch up the throat of the shoe. It fits wide. I also felt like the lockdown of the upper isn't fantastic.
Yeah, I would agree with that. First thoughts out of the shoe, of course, we got more miles, so don't take this as gospel, but you can take it for rough draft.
Rough draft.
I did feel like there was a little bit of play here especially towards the heel, where if you just slide to the side a little bit, your heel just comes off. That was a little disconcerting for me. I made it through the run without rolling an ankle, thankfully.
That's a huge win.
Yeah, and then you got this Flytefoam Blast Max.
Well, before we get there, I did want to mention something. You get down to the Max in a second. But before we get there, the first day I ran in it, I've done 2 runs.
Yeah.
The first day I ran in really thin socks that came with the shoe in my package, which were Bandit socks, really thin, and I really had to cinch up the laces. My foot was still sliding around. I went around a corner, and to avoid another runner, I kind of did like a hard step. And when I did the hard step, I felt like my foot was sliding off of the platform.
Right.
That's what I was a little afraid of. So the next day, today, you and I went for a run, and I threw on a thicker sock. And for the most part, it took care of a lot of the issues, but it's still cinched down and still fits pretty roomy in here.
Okay.
You were talking about the foam now.
Yeah, that's cool. Flytefoam Blast Max midsole instead of the Eco Plus. Wait.
Flytefoam Blast to the Max.
Flytefoam Blast plus Eco. So now we have the Blast Max. How did you feel about the midsole? It was a little softer, I feel like.
It's definitely softer.
Yeah.
Did you feel it's got the bounce and rebound, or just softer?
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna need more runs. I did feel like it's lighter. So the thing is, it is a half ounce lighter than the last version. So it's like around 9 ounces for men's size 10. So it did feel pretty light underfoot. So I didn't feel like you were getting that more like sinky feeling. I felt a little bit. Did feel a little bit of sinking softness, which I feel like I like a little bit more of a that like
pop,
ground feel pop to it. So I think you're gonna get more comfort out of this.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was just like especially depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. The weird thing was I felt like the softness was gonna translate to kind of like not as quick a pace, but we were running today, and maybe it was the temperatures, maybe it was something else, but the paces seemed to cruise along just fine.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing. It's like I didn't feel like it was hindering me in any way. It's more just like a feel preference in a way. And then the outsole here is Ahar Lo rubber. Same. Everything on the outsole is the same as last version, so nothing's changed there.
And I found the grip to be pretty good. I know that in the past, some people have not always liked some of the rubbers that Asics has used.
Yeah.
But this one, I thought the grip was really nice on all the surfaces we ran over.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, like, honestly, just for 5-mile run this morning, but it seemed fine. I mean, it's the same as last year, so however you feel about last year, that's how it's going to be.
So, yeah, I've pretty much got 12 miles in it at this point.
Okay.
And I feel like I have a good idea of the character of the shoe.
Yeah.
I will say, first thoughts, you're right. Super Blast is really killing. If you have the extra $50,
60.
Oh, it's 60.
Yeah,
Never mind. Go ahead and get this shoe.
Yeah, this is a 140, so you're like, it's a pretty good. When you, especially when you frame it in that 140, you're like, all right.
Yeah,
like,
for 140, this is a great shoe.
Yeah. So I think sometimes forget where everything falls in because because this looks a lot like the Super Blast, and like it's really $60, like
that's
cheaper.
A lot.
Like it's you're getting a pretty good product here. Like the foam is nice for that range. Like,
putting it in that that context.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a little ahead of myself.
Yeah,
it's a really nice shoe for the 140. I do wish that the lockdown was a little bit better, not quite as generous in the upper here in the throat.
I wonder how wide fit Jared will feel. He'll probably like this shoe.
He could probably go with a regular. I mean, even Meg, I was talking to her this morning. She was like, yeah, it still feels loose on her foot, and she's got a decently wide foot.
Yeah. I don't know. People are loving this colorway. I'm not totally sold on it, but from what I guess in New York City, people are loving it.
It's funny because when we were running to our run this morning, we were both like, I don't really like this shoe. I think it's not the shoe, the color. I don't really like the shoe color. And we got mics on though.
Oh yeah, we're good.
I don't really like the shoe color. You were like, nah, I don't like the shoe color. Meg was like, I don't like the shoe color. We roll up to our group run, and the first thing someone says, oh, I really like that shoe color.
Like, I love that colorway. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Do you know,
what do I know?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
Shoe reviewer. We're not a
I would call
fashion editor.
Dusty Plum.
Yeah, that'll sell them. Yeah, record sales coming up.
Do you know what will sell them? A touchdown?
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know if I can compete with the Ravens last night.
I think you can.
I got my purple on, so I guess we'll see.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh!
That was so close.
That was close.
I almost fumbled the bag, but I secured it.
That was close.